of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, I am your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity, and welcome everyone to the episode 1012 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the New Orleans Saints. So do us all a favor, grab a desired sit or beverage of your choice. Please put your tray table up, put your seat up in the full upright position, fasten your seatbelt, keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all time. And what can I tell you?
And go Hawks. Oh, wait. No, that's the end. That's the end.
No. What I was going to say is maybe they should have spent $100 million on a punter. All right. And that's all I'm saying. Ooh. We know who I'm talking about. Ooh. So we will move on from that for the moment and introduce our posse for this episode. First, there is Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Well. Mariners won their playoff game today.
Yes, they did.
So I'm pretty excited about that. That was
Congratulations.
Fun. Yeah, thank you.
That's the Mariners podcast part of the show. Congratulations to the Mariners. I agree.
Yep.
That's Rounders, isn't it?
It's Rounders, yes. Matt, and that is Matt from merry old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Well, guess who's in London this week?
Who?
Close friend of the show, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And he's decided. No, well, I'm just reporting the news.
Oh, no.
All right? It's not allegedly; it's actual fact. Mr. Aaron Rodgers, and he's decided to fly over early. And this is his reason. I quote: "I think the reason I said I wanted to go over early was just to experience a little bit of that culture, to be able to get out and see some sights and interact with fans and shoot."
And shoot.
So I'll let
That's very American of him.
I'll let my friends know in Soho that you're coming, Aaron.
Yeah.
There's two for one in certain bars. I can give you the details. It's all right. I'll reach out.
Right, Aaron. Right to Matt, care of Matty from merry old England, care of 12-Man Fan Jam Show at gmail.com.
I'm being hospitable, man. I'm hospitable. I'm just letting him know the sights in London. Honestly.
Find him. Someone who I don't know if they've ever been to London or not is our Shadowhawk Will. Will, have you ever been there?
Briefly, I had a 10-hour layover in London.
Oh, nice. So how you doing, sir?
I am doing great. I just got credited a free month on my Amazon Prime subscription because I watched that game last night.
Yes!
You mean it actually streamed?
Badly.
It was more like a trickle than a stream, but that, at our age, we'll take what we can get.
I would have hoped for an outage, frankly.
No doubt. That was a stinker of a Thursday night game. And someone who gives great predictions of those games is back with us and back in California for tonight. And that is Statsman Mark. Hi, Statsman Mark.
Oh, everybody. Wait a minute. Did I actually win my picks last week? I did pretty well.
Did you do pretty well? How'd you do last week?
I think I hit at least two. I think
2 out of 3. 2 out. He's back. We'll talk about that third quarter, but he's back. And before we go through the show, there is a story.
And one more thing, Dennis. I was going to tell Matt that Aaron Rodgers, maybe he can explain walking in the park at 3:30 in the morning because of the time difference. Run him off.
Nice.
Allegedly.
I'm American.
Allegedly.
Before we get to the format, I have a story to share, and I haven't really shared this with anybody. All that.
Moses, you want to introduce your son?
I'm just going to say, before I do that, I'd like to introduce one more person on the show, and that just happens to be my son, Little Mo. Little Mo, how are you?
Have you ever been to London?
No.
Oh, no.
Little Mo, have you ever been?
The wheels have come off and we're only on the introductions.
Already in the introductions. No. Little Mo, have you ever been to London?
Nope.
All right. Where's the dog? Where's Abby?
She's laying down.
She's laying down. She's already bored with us.
She's got a Halloween tie on.
Yeah. Little Mo is in the middle of his fall break.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you guys don't go to school much. That's right.
Yeah, we don't go to school much.
Indiana.
So that kind of brings me to my story. Today was the last day before I go on fall break, and what we like to do with 14 and 15-year-old kids before they go on break is give them standardized testing.
Be careful, people might see this.
We give them standardized testing. So they're taking a standardized test, which means you have 40 minutes, and then I sit there and do nothing for 40 minutes while they test. And so I'm sitting in this room, and I'm sitting at this desk, and I decide to relax, and I kind of kick back a little bit. And all of a sudden, pop!
Oh, you pulled a mat.
I broke the chair. Pulled a mat, and I broke the chair. And I said, I cannot wait to share that on the show.
Amazing.
And when you do that, let me tell you, Matt, I'm going to give you some advice since I've done this now. When you do that in front of about 30, 14, and 15-year-old boys and girls, it's fantastic.
That's it.
Reaction.
That's it.
It's all downhill from there.
Oh, just
it's game over at that point.
Yeah.
So, I just, at that point, I said, I'm going on break now. But
the best thing about that story, though, was the fact that you made out that the 40 minutes of you sitting there doing nothing was a new or different day for you. I mean, that's your whole year regardless, isn't it?
Well, I work very hard at my job, and I love the children that I work with. So,
I just imagine you
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I just imagine that he was leaning back, but he was like Cameron Diaz in Bad Teacher or whatever that was called. Remember that? She comes in drunk, puts on a movie.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, Cameron Diaz can do it. I can't too.
It's from his water bottle,
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I needed today. But anyway, let's go on with the episode format, shall we? 4 quarters and a halftime, just like a real NFL football game. And we actually do talk about football. Quarter 1, we talk about the NFL news. We have a special caption, that picture after the news. And then quarter 2, we'll talk about last week's Seahawk victory against the Detroit Lions, 48-45. Halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
Of the world. And Little Mo, not only did he hit it on the button, but he was 2 for 2 in the questions.
Amazing.
I know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. He didn't have any.
He had seen them beforehand.
Yeah.
Allegedly, the second half will give you all the information for the game coming up against the Saints. We have a sermon of Seahawk positivity. We have weather. We have fashion. We have a special thing from Statsman Mark. He picks 3 games around the league, and Dustin gives us the injury reports for that game. We put all that together, and we make our predictions, our prognostications, and game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and those New Orleans Saints. Before we do that, we'd like to remind you to join us on a 12-man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. Join us for our game day. We have our game day thread. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on there. Post a lot of memes, make a lot of jokes. It's kind of a good way to watch the game. If you're watching the game, you can look down on your phone and kind of join us on the game day thread. Email us at 12manfanjamshow@email.com, especially Aaron Rodgers, Matt. That's how you get a hold of Matty. And you can also subscribe to us on YouTube. And now it is time for the first quarter and news. Yes, news from around the NFL. It is the 12-man Fan Jam Show news report with our Shadowhawk news hound, Will. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, probably the most entertaining part of this past Monday Night Football game, apart from seeing the Rams lose, which is always entertaining, was the moment when a protester got out on the field with what appeared to be a military flare, who was subsequently leveled by former Seahawk linebacker Bobby Wagner. Now, I'm sure this person was protesting something. Don't really seem to know what, and frankly, I don't care. But he is seeking more publicity for himself, having filed a police report charging Bobby Wagner with assault.
Yeah.
However, none of the people involved seem to be particularly worried about that. Coach Sean McVay said, "I did hear that. I think we all know where Bobby's intentions were. I support Bobby Wagner. I don't think anybody would disagree."
Yeah.
Wagner, for his part, was actually surprised that so many angles of the hit got out, since, quote, most times they cut away from that part of the game. But he did say that he didn't come out and say that he would do it again, but he heavily hinted at that.
Good.
Quote, "You never know what that person's got in their pocket, their hands, whatever." Kind of like what I said after the game.
True.
So there's consequences for your actions.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Hell
for
yeah.
everybody watching this right now, don't rush the field.
No.
But especially don't rush the field when the Rams are playing, because Bobby Wagner's out there looking for you.
Truth. Does anybody watch the Eli and Peyton version of Monday Night Football?
No.
Okay, well, Lil Mo loves it, and so we were watching it. We love it too. And they actually, Peyton complained so much when that happened. He goes, "Oh, now there's the guy on the field." Well, I want to show you what do you mean we can't show that? He goes, "We're the second team." He goes, "I know they can't show it over there, but we're the second team. Can we come on?" And pretty soon they showed it. Like they showed the guy on the field for Peyton and Eli, and they showed Bobby waylaying him. So it's kind of cool that Peyton kept complaining until they actually put it on. He goes, "I know you're not supposed to show it for them, but we're second team. Come on, give us a break." And then they did.
It's so weird that Peyton complained and got what he wanted. That never happened.
Red was shocker, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it was pretty amazing, wasn't it, Lil Mo?
It was, yeah. I was
right. And I think you were the one. Lil Mo goes, "That's Bobby," because you saw it.
And Peyton goes, That's a veteran play right there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They broke it down, which was pretty cool.
Well, anytime you get to watch an idiot get clocked, it's always entertaining. I think that's why Springer was on the air for so.
Now I don't want to be that Debbie Downer. I don't want to be the person that says the thing that everyone else hasn't said. But if you're the veteran, linebacker, whatever, being paid, how much? What's his current salary? What's he currently paid?
A lot.
More than us.
If he injures himself on that play,
yeah, that's
if he causes himself, if you don't know what that guy's got in his pocket and you don't know what that flare has got at the bottom of it either, sometimes if I was the owner, manager, coach, I want my top players and the ones that I'm paying all that money to stay as well away from that shit as possible.
True.
I have a completely different take on that because he's right. You don't know what that guy's intention is. I mean, Monica Seles comes to mind when she got stabbed.
Yeah.
Or who knows if he's got a suicide bomb or whatever's going on with that pink mist or whatever it was. If you go out there and you knock him on his ass and it ends up saving people, but you get stabbed, I say, cool, whatever.
But that's what security's for. I mean,
well,
every game I've ever been
you see the security?
Full of security.
Yeah, that's what they're for. But if they're not in a position to make the play, you make the play.
And how the hell did you get it through the stadium?
That security guard fell down trying to tackle.
Yeah, one of them
give him better cleats. Get him better cleats.
We should go to the professional here. Statsman Mark has been in Reno. He's seen idiots walking around. So I'm sure. Statsman Mark hasn't said anything yet.
I was doing my homework. I've been driving.
Not you, everyone else.
There's a lot of reflective surfaces in Reno.
Allegedly, there are idiots in Reno walking around, but I don't know. No, but I'm sure Mark saw his fair of drunk people running around Reno. I mean, come on. Tell me you did.
I seem to be a magnet for these folks, Dennis. Far removed from that lifestyle, I swear.
Far removed, yeah.
Yeah, security guard should have been like a dangle on Reno 911.
There you go.
Talks about how he had to write in a request to have shorts to modify his uniform because you want to be like a law enforcement cheetah. He had to be able to move.
Yeah. So Mark, you're gonna abstain from the conversation. It sounds like.
No. I love that the guy's trying to file a lawsuit. I think that's great.
That's great. America.
Yeah, let us know what the over under is on that one.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what else you got for us?
How many minutes before the judge laughs this off and dismisses it?
Yeah, right. Yeah. The over under on that.
Anyway, I'm with Bobby on that shit, man. I mean, or anybody else that really takes somebody out like that. If you jump a fence and get into a secured area and expect not to get your ass whooped, I don't know what kind of
idiot.
I don't know what you're thinking. Because your head's not right, and it's probably even less right now that Bobby got a hold of him. Right.
Good point. Well, what else you got?
Well, do you guys remember the starting lineup figures that they used to sell?
Oh, loved them. Yeah.
Well, those kind of went away unceremoniously. They were replaced for a while by those Todd McFarlane figures.
I've got those. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few of the Todd McFarlanes in the house. I don't know what happened to any of my starting lineups, but wait till next year because they are actually Hasbro has announced that starting in 2023, the starting lineup collection of NFL figures will return.
Yay!
They've cut deals with the league, the NFLPA, and Fanatics.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I got a couple of Sean Alexander McFarlane's sitting right over there. So very cool.
I don't think I'm familiar. Is this like a bobblehead?
No,
It's a
they're
little
like realistic.
Yeah, it's I've got a kind of a
Yeah.
half picture here, if you can see it.
Hold on, so I'm gonna.
Oh, it's an
I'm
action
gonna-
figure.
Yeah,
Oh, it's an action
I'm gonna
figure.
douse my video here, and I'll if I can get that.
Douse.
Hold on.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
I'll
it's
be
like a little
right
action
back.
Figure type thing.
Will, are the players' attorneys sold separately or are they part of this?
Attorneys and hookers are sold separately. Yes.
Will they come with like detachable injuries? Like, can you like take a leg off and take a broken leg on, or
CJ
Well,
Pro-Size is just like a torso.
So like this is
comes with his own ballista pack of other injuries?
this is one of my Sean Alexanders.
Oh
I see they're kind of realistic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers
starting-
wants to know if they're
I've
fully
seen those.
posable, allegedly.
the starting lineup figures weren't quite that high end, but you could
Right.
place them a little bit more. And apparently, some of the new players, the figures are going to come with their own blue tints. So
Oh, very cool. Oh, very sweet. That's awesome. Lamo's got a lot of Funkos. You like the Funkos, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like the Funkos. No bobbleheads, but a lot of Funkos. So that's pretty Funko, Will. Thank you for the news.
Anytime, Moses.
And now, before we end the first quarter, it's an old feature we're bringing back for a reason, and that is called Caption That Picture. Yes, caption this picture. We have a special picture this week based on what happened last night between the Broncos and the Colts. If you didn't hear or see, if you didn't know, Russell Wilson's on the Colts or the Broncos. He's not the Colts. He's on the Broncos.
Well, some people would
No,
think
like
he's on the Colts.
some would disagree.
Yeah.
Well, this picture came out, and a lot of people have had a lot of fun with this picture, so I thought we would as well. And it's this picture of just that look that he's given Russell is just gold, absolute gold. So, Dustin, caption this picture.
He just saw the Mr. Unlimited video.
Nice. Hey, little Mo, caption that picture.
He's thinking even Drew Lock can do this.
Even I can do this. Nice. Matt
Could do better.
could do better. Yeah, Matt, caption that picture.
You better hope there's some nano bubbles in that water, Russ, because KJ Hamler is looking for you.
Statsman Mark, capture that picture.
Caption, you have a turnover fetish in the red zone, Russell.
Oh, Will, caption that picture.
Well, to paraphrase Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, say let's ride again. I dare you. I don't.
Nice.
Dustin, you got another one, right?
I just think it looks like the dude found out Santa isn't real. That's that same look.
I've got another one.
Oh, Matt, go ahead.
Bro, are you sitting in a child car seat?
Oh, little Mo, you got another one?
Mine's just you pay 250 mil for this. We paid 250 mil for this.
Ooh,
Ouch.
Will, what you got?
Why didn't we sign Matt Flynn instead?
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Here are mine. Man, at least Drew Lock can rap because you remember that he rapped.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like present.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Sierra settled for that.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
And-
harsh.
and damn it, Russell, you know I've been looking for my water bottle all damn day.
Man.
So there's caption the picture.
Yeah.
And now
Those
we
are-
will-
There's
messed up
another
the
one though,
deal.
isn't there? Careful you don't miss your mouth, Russ.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was about to say.
Woo!
And that was the start
and
of my
that-
drinking problem.
That will end the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches!
Wow, what a way to end the first quarter. We captured this wonderful picture. And we got way off of the rails of this runaway train known as the 12-man band. But we're coming back in the second quarter to talk about the victory of the Seahawks over the Detroit Lions. And that fun is coming up right after this. At least I hope it is.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yes, welcome back to a rather interesting start to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show for 10-12, the Saints edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Hey, look, the Seahawks won in Detroit last week, 48-45, and so we have a chance to talk about that in the second quarter this week, which is a lot more fun. Will, what are your thoughts about that game? Good, bad, ugly, otherwise?
Well, a little bit of everything, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I did not anticipate 93 total points and over 1,000 yards of total offense, and basically the insanity that was the entire second half.
Yeah.
You know, at least we're scoring in the second half, so we got that monkey off our backs.
Yes.
You know, good for Tariq Woolen. You know, he's got his first NFL touchdown, and that kid's going to be a beast. That's going to be
He continues to show that, doesn't he? Continues to just raise that bar.
Yeah, Geno Smith has put together a couple of pretty good games, which is good to see. Granted, against some not great defenses, but you know, you got to start somewhere, and he's doing what he should do against teams that he should do it against.
Yeah,
I agree. That sounded weird, but I'll move on. Defensively, this is going to be kind of silly to say, seeing as how we gave up 45 points and just like 500 some yards and all these ridiculous totals. I don't think our defense is as bad as it has looked the past few weeks. I think because I think we've got talent, but we got young talent, and we got young talent and we got not just rookies, but young talent in a new defensive scheme that they're obviously still learning.
Yes.
You go back and look at that game, and so many of their big plays were due to just mistakes on individual plays.
Absolutely.
Not so much Detroit outplaying us. It was Seattle doing stupid stuff that, frankly, we can't afford to do.
Right.
If we hadn't scored 48 points, obviously, it would have burned us.
Right.
But that is correctable. I don't know if we're going to correct it. The way this season is going, wouldn't surprise me if we didn't, but it is possible to correct it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that with a few more games under their belts, a little more time in this system, the rookies growing up a little bit more, I'm hoping that we'll start to see Seattle cut down on these kinds of mistakes.
Yeah.
And if we do that, I mean, this is not going to be a top 10 defense by any stretch, but if we can get a middle of the road defense, and if the offense can still contribute, you know, this team may surprise a few people down the stretch.
Absolutely, without question. Little Mo, what stood out to you in this game?
Well, just to add on to that point with Will, I'm not saying Lions offense is the best offense in the league, but they've scored a lot of points this season.
They really have. Yes, they have. Top 10, I believe.
Yeah, so they've scored a lot of points this season. Geno looked good, but I also think there's a little bit of an overreaction about these first couple of weeks, thinking he's going to be like the replacement and whatever. He's done. I'm not saying he's been doing bad, but it's been against bad teams, like Will said. So, we gets a good defense like the 49ers, he struggled.
Yeah, he did. You're right. That's a good defense he struggled against. You're right.
So.
That's a very good point. Matt, what are your thoughts about the game?
It was a fun. I mean, no punting at all. I think it's the first game in franchise history.
First game in franchise history. Yes, it is.
Without a punt in it at all, which is phenomenal. Every quarter had something worth watching, which is for some football fans, Broncos, very difficult to say this year. But I agree with allegedly. I mean, just looking at stat. I mean, I do think though. I don't know where our rush has gone. I mean, I want some pass rush at some point. That would be nice. Any pass rush at the moment. I mean,
Jamal Adams.
If a protester runs on and tackles him, I'm happy for that as well. I just need some rush, whatever it takes. Put that man in a jersey.
Just need a rush.
But I think in terms of, 555 total yards for us, awesome. Penny had an awesome game. Just a beast of a game for him, which was great. I will say there were 11 penalties for us, which was starting to get on my on my nerves,
Yeah.
to say the least. And I know rookies do rookie things, but come on, folks, that needs to be fixed. 75% on third down efficiency. Love that.
Wonderful.
And then there's so many good things here, but again, we weren't playing the 49ers. We do have to take into account our opposition at the same time when we're doing this, but we were on the road. Early start game. I think the guys traveled well. They clearly prepped well. I agree with Little Mo. Look, I don't think Gino's the replacement. He's currently, I don't think I think he's a good filler. But I think there's other opportunities maybe down the line for something to permanently replace him. But what I can say is that we got to give the dude credit. I think he was NFC Offensive Player of the week.
He was.
And so we've got to give him that credit. He's shining when he needs to shine, but can he do it in some of the more tougher games? That's the question.
Well done. Yeah, I agree. Stats and Mark, what are your thoughts?
Well, wasn't it another scoregami?
It was one of the highest scoregamis they've ever had. Yes.
How many has Carroll been involved in? It seems like
for a while there was one every year.
Yeah, we did at least one every year.
For like the first 7-8 years.
Yep.
No, but well, what's interesting to me is that this year, we're seeing already like the draft is looking really good. I mean, my joke is that the draft is looking so well it could save Pete's job. No,
it could.
Broncos.
He's probably around for that's always my inside joke.
Yeah.
Look, I'm happy with the guys who are developing, and because I like to see players who, regardless of what happens in the future, whatever that is, that no matter what philosophy, if something changes, these guys could work and fit with any kind of scheme. I'm getting off track here, but what I'm reminded with the Lions game is that Pete knows how to motivate, and these guys are hustling, and so it's always good to see.
They are.
I think long term we need a lot of draft picks. I think we need a little bit more help and some other things, but it's nice to see these guys play really hard, and
I like that too.
And they're definitely, and Gino has played well. It's just that what we're seeing out of Gino now, this is what he was supposed to do 10 years ago, even though he wasn't in Seattle. I mean, it's hard.
But if you think about it, he played for the Jets
long term with this group.
He didn't have a Metcalf and a Lockett with the Jets. And then, he was a backup and he just never really had a chance to shine. And, to give him a little bit of credit, I mean, when you're on the Jets for so long and he had nobody to throw to, now he's got, a much better receiving core and, maybe a better offense overall, than what the Jets had. So, maybe he's having a chance to shine because of that. But anyway, Dustin, what are your thoughts on that game?
I think the game overall was entertaining. I wasn't expecting a shootout. Obviously, that's what we got. Not in my wildest dreams that I imagined that this offense was going to put up anywhere near 50 points this season.
Oh, no.
But Gino looks like he has control of the offense and what he's doing. He knows what he wants to do. He gets the ball out fairly quick. And the running game started to show up a little bit. Penny was worth more like a quarter this time. So that was good. More than a penny.
Yeah,
but
absolutely more.
Bottom line, though, for me, is that you cannot give up that many points in an NFL game and expect any sort of long-term success.
Right.
So, I think I said something similar to what Will was saying last week about the guys being young and maybe they're just out of position because they're overly aggressive, young, still learning the system type thing. But if they can't get that corrected quickly, then the season is going to go nowhere. Because if you cannot count on any NFL team, even when Tom Brady was breaking the records with Randy Moss, the 1 year most touchdowns and whatnot, or Peyton Manning when he scored a ton of touchdowns, highest offense ever in the history of the league or whatever, and then we whooped their ass in the Super Bowl. You can't count on that every week.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, defense has to find a way.
You just can't.
It's got to be like life. It has to find a way.
I'd like to point out something that we've been very critical of, and I say we because not just we, like the entire fan base. I would like to give some credit to the offensive coordinator this week because those two runs, especially with Penny, those were blitzes, and those calls were perfect both times. They made the right call. Now, maybe that was Gino making the right call, but the fact that let's give the offensive coordinator a little bit of credit this week. I loved the play calling. I like there was a lot of misdirection.
Waldron put together really good game plan.
Outstanding. And I know Maddie was happy the tight ends were used extensively,
A lot.
which is what we thought in game one was going to happen. And we got more misdirection, more use of the tight ends, and we still had the deep ball. And then we had Penny running, and we ran enough where they couldn't just rely on us throwing the ball. We didn't just abandon the run, which I just thought the play calling was brilliant this week. And we always give Waldron a lot of criticism, but wow, did he call a brilliant game this week?
I think a couple of things really stood out to me in that regard in this, and it's partly Gino's development, or maybe things he's comfortable with. Part of it's play calling. We did things that you didn't really see with Russell Wilson at all. We've already seen a couple times this year with the quarterback sneak right there quick.
Yeah.
We didn't do that with Russell. He was
exactly
undersized. We had a design quarterback draw right up the middle for a touchdown.
We did.
I did not see that coming. Like,
nobody.
I was very, very surprised. And then we're doing a lot. Something that I think really shows Gino's development in a lot of ways is that one of his knocks was that when he was on the move, he wasn't very accurate throwing the ball. So, and this goes to Shane Waldron too. So what did they do? When they have him in the play action, he's rolling out on that bootleg. He's throwing to bigger targets like Colby Parkinson now. That makes your window bigger. For the radius for the player to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's an adjustment on the coordinator and probably Gino developing a little bit, getting a little better with his throws. So yeah, it's working really well in that regard.
It was a great game.
I will add, no one's really talking about it. I've been impressed with the O-line. Two rookie tackles, Abe Lucas especially. I mean, Charles Cross has had some penalties. I don't know if we've even heard Abe Lucas's name, and that's a good thing from the tackle all year. So
for two rookie tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done a great and Lil Mo and I we spent a lot of time watching the game. We'll say, I'm going to watch Cross on this play because it's third down and their best pass rusher or whatever. And we'll watch Cross and wow, he doesn't win every time. Nobody does, but he does a great job. And you forget that those guys, you've already forgotten those guys. Both those guys are rookies.
But Cross has had some penalties. I just think Abe Lucas has just been, he hasn't been penalized at all this year, I fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the bar, honestly, with at least the right tackle's been pretty low over the last decade or so.
Right.
So when you get a guy who goes out there and isn't making the penalties and then just gets in the way sometimes, you're happy with that. But they're playing above that level. They're playing way above that level.
They are.
It's fun to watch.
It is. It's really been fun.
What I also say on the offense as well is that he's spreading his targets around quite nicely as well. He's not just relying on one or two receivers. It was 10 targets to Metcalf, 8 to Lockett. Then you got 4, 3, and 1. So to the tight ends, Disley, Parkinson, and Eskridge. But
Penny had a couple also.
Yeah, and Penny. Yeah. What I will say though is that I'm not overly, just on the special teams, I'm not overly comfortable with Lockett doing returns. I don't know why. I feel that's too easy injured on that. Yeah, I know he had the fumble and everything. That was unfortunate. That was just thingy. But ultimately, I think I just don't want Lockett in that position. We just know that's a really damaging injury.
But I do want Dallas returning kickoffs. I think Dallas returning kickoffs is wonderful. Yeah. But I'm with you on that. I think Lil Moda I talked about there during the game. We lock it on punts. We're not.
Yeah, he went like 7 years with not doing punt, and all of a sudden, you just want to put him back there all of a sudden.
Yeah, I want to say he muffed one earlier this season too, didn't he?
I think he did.
Well, wasn't that he was knocked in another? Oh,
they knocked into him. Yeah,
that wasn't his fault. I don't think.
Yeah.
Is Brian Walters still available?
Oh, the B-Wall experience.
He's there on the pregame show, so he's in the building on the pregame show sometimes.
He will run one back. Give him the chance.
The B-Wall experience. It will happen.
He'll run his hand this and.
Well, speaking of experiences, let's see how we experienced the Posse Prediction Challenge in our 2-minute warning.
Well, I'm going to go now. You have a great day, everybody.
Now, wait, Matt, just wait. All right, 2-minute warning, Posse Prediction Challenge. Let's first look at the score. Remember, you get 2 points if you picked a 3-point victory for the Seahawks. So Dustin and Chris and Jose and Carrie and Jimmy all had a 3-point Seahawk win. So that's 2 points. I gave Statsman Mark the 31-27. That's the most points anyone had, really. Andy had 35-24, but I like 31-27 sounds pretty close. So I give Statsman Mark. Prognostications, there were a few. Seattle to score second half touchdown, which at the time was, I hope that happens. Carrie got that one. Disley had a touchdown, so Becky got on the board. Chris with Smith with no INTs, kind of a weak one, but we'll take it. Seattle's defensive touchdown for Andy and a Seattle defensive touchdown for Statsman Mark. So not too bad on the prognostications. Game balls, Woolen. Yeah. Pick 6. Penny. Yeah, you better believe it. Other than that,
Dick's had a perfect game.
Yeah.
Dick's had a perfect game. He doesn't even get a game ball.
Yeah, but he didn't. He had no punts inside the 20.
He didn't show up.
No punts inside the 20, so that didn't help us at
That's
all.
the perfect way of a punt to Little Mo. That's what you want.
The over and under was obviously over. In fact, the over and under is 48.5. We scored 48 on our own.
Yeah.
Jimmy, Dustin,
over.
and Andy and Stats Mark. And I remember saying to Little Mo when I put this together Sunday, I was going, wow, all of us have under on this. And so if it's over, it's going to be very sporadic. And it was. So your scores for this week, Carrie, Jimmy, Statsman, Mark all had 4. Jose, Dustin, Chris at 3, Andy with 2, Little Mo with 1, Mike with 1, Becky with 1, Moses with 1. And then we go to the scores after 4 games. Mike at 14, Chris at 8, Jose 7, Andy, Jimmy, Statsman, Mark 6, Will, Carrie, Dustin at 5, Mark, Little Mo at 3, Moses at 2, Becky at 1.
You're missing someone.
Someone's missing off that list.
Little Mo, what?
You're
What's
missing
up?
Matt. Matt's not on the list.
Matt, where are you? You're not on there. What's going on? There's 13 people on here.
Just glare at me for a second, and I'll do the water thing.
Nice.
So as we go into the next game, the overall team scores are this: Team 12, 41, Team Posse, 33, 8 points. We were not.
They picked up a point on us.
They got a point on us.
You can't win it in the first quarter, people.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
No,
But we can go to halftime.
Or the fourth if you're the Broncos.
Oh, nice.
It's halftime, bitches!
All right, let's time to go to halftime. We have so much more to talk about. We're going to talk about the Saints game in the second half. We're going to have predictions, prognostications, game balls. But before we do all that and have a lot of fun in the third quarter, it is time for the best Seahawks-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
The world.
And that's coming up right after this. Don't you go change it.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes. Welcome to America's favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game, 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. A game that tests the trivia knowledge of the viewers of the show and the posse themselves. The contestants of the posse themselves, and we will have the questions over here on the screen for you to play along as well. If you do, let us know how you did. There are 2 rounds of questioning for each posse member, each of them worth a point, and then we have an overtime question. And if there's tie after that, the people are tied go into a double secret overtime question where the winner will be crowned 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world. Allegedly will be crowned. And remember, gentlemen, once
More of a tiara.
More of a tiara. The first two rounds will be you can take one wrong answer away. So there are 3 choices. You can take one wrong answer away.
No, I'm just going to ask Little Mo like the olden days because he's got all the
Well, he ain't going to tell you. Yeah. Little Mo absolutely crushed it last week. Little Mo, what number do you have? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1.
Matt?
3.
Dustin?
Well, first I want to clarify one rule in case it's the first time these people have watched it. And you guys, last week, I tried to eliminate one and I said Matt, and apparently that's not how it works. So it has to be an answer that gets eliminated, not a person.
Yes, exactly.
Just going to get squad come through the door and just.
All right. Holy shit. All right.
No, Matt, actually, they've got an ejector seat implanted in all of our. So.
I don't know about it being an ejector seat. It's more
Gonna need a hell of a seat. It's gonna need a hell of a spring in this chair, Will.
Oh my god!
All right, what were the options again?
I forgot.
You can't do
I'll
math.
take one of those. I'll take one of those.
All right,
Those
2,
sound
4,
right.
Mo had 1, Matt had 3.
2, 4, 5.
2.
All right. Will? 4, 5.
I will take 4.
We'll take 4. That means Statsman Mark will take 5. Okay, fair enough. Hold on a second.
Absolutely
Don't
not.
panic, Dustin.
Panicking.
No panicking. Breathe. Find your inner space.
This is how I deal with all this.
Oh, he's-
Hey man, I'm sorry to get these to you earlier. Here are the questions, and here are the answers for your question.
At least he's owning up to it.
This is honest.
Yeah. We all knew what was happening.
We all knew.
Matter of fact, I asked him for the answers. I asked Jacob for the answers before the show, but he wouldn't give them to me.
No, I don't blame him.
Stingy. He's stingy.
We need to get in good with Mosette. You know.
Hey, question one.
The answers.
Little Mo, question one. Yeah, question 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Question 1.
You got a breath?
Yeah, that was a hell of a run. He's like 2 miles away.
I think it's going to be like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and someone's going to cough when one of the
on
answers.
the other side. Yeah.
It's the Broncos question.
It's the Broncos questions is what it is. All right.
I was gonna say it can't be that far away. It'd be like on the other side of the couch.
Remember. yeah, basically. Remember that these are all going to be about the Saints, and of course, to be a question each round, it's not exactly about the Saints. Okay. Little Mo.
You are out of breath.
The Seahawks beat the Saints in New Orleans back in 1985. You remember that, Little Mo?
Yeah.
Of course you do. How many times did the Seahawks sack Saint quarterback Dave Wilson? 6, 7, or 8 times. Dance.
I don't even know who that is. So,
Neither do Saints fans.
He's your real father.
let's go with 6.
Your real father. Go with 6, huh?
Yeah.
Damn it, read the paper. It's 8. It's 8. I have no son. All right, Dustin.
Yeah.
Yours is not quite about football. Well, it is. How many years was it before the New Orleans Saints actually won a playoff game? Were they in the league 30, 32, or 34 years before they finally won a playoff game?
Ooh.
I think 32 is a good number. We're gonna go with 32.
Oh, yeah. John L. Williams, Ricky Waters. Okay. It's
Other people.
people. Good enough. But it's wrong. It's 3 or 4 years.
Duh.
Thomas Rawls is wrong.
Duh. Matt, are you ready?
Hello.
Okay,
Well,
hold on a second. I'm gonna give you
let's
the
do it
questions.
anyway.
Okay. When the Seahawks played the Saints in 2004, how many touchdowns did Sean Alexander have in that game? 1, 2, 3. That was opening weekend, if I remember right. Sean had how many touchdowns? 1, 2, or 3?
I want to say 2.
He wants to say 2. Are you going to say 2?
I'm going to say 2.
He's going to say 2.
I am.
No, it's 3. He had 3 touchdowns. He scored 3 touchdowns in that game. I remember. So I thought, wow, it's going to be a great season.
Guys, we stink. Come on.
Will.
Yes, sir.
Seahawks played the Saints in 1991.
If you say so.
How many times was Dave Craig sacked in that game? Believe me, it happened. How many times was Dave Craig sacked in that game? Dance!
Ugh, Lord.
Well, what I remember about that game was he broke his thumb, ran out onto the field before what would have been the game-winning field goal, and got us a 15-yard penalty, which pushed us out of field goal range. So
Nice job.
Dave Craig did?
Yeah. So I'm going to say he was sacked 3 times in that game because it was clearly not his day.
Wow.
Just by his own team.
No doubt.
Golly.
No, I can't see Dave Craig getting a 15-yard penalty. That's crazy. But doesn't matter because it's wrong twice.
Watch that game from 91. You'll see it.
Mark, you need to get a point here, mate, because someone's got to do well for us.
Yeah. Statsman Mark.
Yeah. What if this ends in a 6-way tie?
It's time to give Mark the answer. Mark, when the Seahawks played the Saints in 2016, that wasn't that long ago. Who had the most receiving yards for the Seahawks in that game? Doug Baldwin, Jermaine Kears, or CJ Pro-Size? What's he doing on this list?
One's not like the other.
I was at that game.
Baldwin, Kears, or Pro-Size? Who had the most yards?
Oh man, Pro Science actually suited up. I
don't know. I will tell you, these are the top 3 for the Seahawks in receiving yards. So I'll give you that much.
Wow.
Give us any hints. Come on.
In that game,
I'm gonna stick with Baldwin.
Let's stick with Baldwin.
Angry Doug.
Can you believe this?
No.
DJ Price Ice, yes.
Dennis,
CJ
I
Price
was at that game and I never saw him once.
Bullshit.
Unbelievable.
But let's be fair though, I was like right up at the top of the Superdome, just
This
below
is probably
the
like
roof.
one catch.
Yeah, we're gonna
Wait a minute.
fact check that.
Dennis, were those also his career yards? Or-
And those probably
Yeah,
were.
Those
Yeah,
are
those
career
probably were.
yards versus the Saints. Yeah.
My lord. All right.
Wow.
So we nobody got a point. Little Mo, 6 to 10. What do you want?
7.
I would have said a point.
Justin,
Yeah.
1, 6, 8, 9, 10. Sorry.
1.
I knew he was gonna say it.
The minute I said it, I knew it was coming.
I knew he was gonna say it.
It was an option.
6,
I would've
8, 9, or
said
10.
6.
What?
Wait. 6.
All right. Thank you.
I'll go first.
Oh, Lord.
I knew that.
Matt, 8, 9, or 10.
Oh, sorry, what numbers are left?
8, 9,
Matt's
or
got-
10.
Matt's
No
got a
1.
tinkle.
1 is not there.
I'll have a 9, please.
Okay. That's good. 9.
That's his pickup line.
Will, 8 or 10? 8, please. No.
The show is falling
A
apart.
whole new show at halftime. And that will leave Mark again at number 10. All right.
Matt, saying the show is falling apart implies it was ever actually held together in the first place.
Ruth.
That's true. Yeah.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Seahawks played the Saints in 2010. How many
True.
interceptions did Drew Brees throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
2010. That was Pete's first year, right? Yeah.
Let's see. I'm a Pisces. So you
Trying
divide
to
that by
think of-
3.
Well, that's two very.
I have
two
4
very
kids,
different-
but I only like
Yeah.
2 of them.
5 miles per hour.
2 very different years. Because Mora's year we were like 4.
The
and
winds were
12.
from the north.
Yeah. We were not good,
No.
but I'm gonna say 2 anyways. Just being optimistic. I don't think there's any.
Divide
way
by
not-
pi, carry the 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that math. You hate math.
That's why I did math. I guess.
It worked.
Ooh, there you go. Man's got a
Dustin's
point.
on the board.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda wonder Little Mo.
Yes.
I don't know.
This is about Harry Connick Jr., who is a well-known person from New Orleans. How many Grammys has Harry
How many
Connick Jr. won?
interceptions did he have?
3, 4, or 5. How many Grammys has Harry
Take
Connick?
one away.
I'm taking 5 away. It's either 3 or 4. How many Grammys has Harry Connick won?
What do you think? I'm talking to the dog. She's not on
Oh,
camera.
Abby?
Oh, I was like, wow, attitude.
Help in the room. Help in the room, folks.
Yeah, that's the trick. They put the answer in Abby's collar.
There it is.
There we
Back and
go.
forth
That's what
between
you're
rooms.
No, Abby's Pagos.
Yeah.
Let's go
3
3.
times.
That's what she did. She called me
going-
3 times.
She told you 3?
Yeah.
You trust the dog?
No. But I'm going with it.
You should.
You trust a dog more than Matt trusted the kids.
Got a point. So there you go.
Kids didn't have the answers then.
Help too.
Yeah.
Oh, Will's got help too. So.
Yep.
All right.
He's got a cat, so even if he's
Well,
wrong, you have to say
April's
he's
going to
right.
help you. You ready? When the Seahawks played the Saints in 1997, how many touchdown passes did Warren Moon throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
Was he
Take
sober?
away a wrong answer, please.
I'll take away 2. It's either 1 or 3.
Considering the way Warren Moon played that year, I'm going 3.
Going 3. Gone low.
You're no help.
You're fired.
How perfect would it have been if she would have reached up and just slapped the shit out
Yeah,
of
no
him?
doubt. Or she said, I knew the answer. I just didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
That I believe.
Yeah.
That I believe.
Matt.
Hello.
Hello. 2011 playoff game between the Seahawks and the Saints. Very memorable game. But how many times was Matt Hasselbeck sacked in that game? 1, 2, or
That was
3?
on my birthday that year. That was on my birthday.
Take away a wrong answer, please.
All right, I'm going to take away 3. It's either 1 or 2.
Let's be optimistic. Let's say 1.
Let's be optimistic. Let's say 1. Yes! Woo!
Nice.
Nicely done. All right, Statsman Mark. Here we go.
All right.
In the 2014 playoff game between the Seahawks and the Saints,
I was at that one.
how many times was Russell Wilson sacked? 1, 2, or 3?
Take one away. Take one away.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I know. I should use that freebie of all things, shouldn't I? Okay, we'll take one away there, Dennis.
Okay, we'll take 1. It's either 2 or 3.
Ooh.
It's 50%, Mark. You can't be wrong, surely.
I know, huh? It's just like it's on a tee.
Fade yourself. Fade yourself.
Fade yourself. Fade yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I was killing. I was killing Little Mo. Little Mo's like,
I know. So they're getting assaulted.
Yeah, 2. I'll go 2.
he's gonna go 2.
He's going to go 3, but he faded himself.
Yeah. Yeah, he should listen to himself. It was 3.
It's like a cartoon. It's like foiled again.
I know, but that's
Damn
okay.
kids.
Little Mo, Dustin, and Matt have a point. Will and Mark, you have no point, but that's okay because now it's time for the final question. Yeah. All right. Final question. We're 2 points. It is a number. The closest without going over gets the 2 points, and if everybody's over, whoever's the closest to the number gets 2 points, and will become 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world. All right. The order is going to go like this: Mark, Will, Matt, Little Mo, Dustin. And here's your question. So start with Mark. It's about that playoff game between the Saints and the Seahawks, and that was 2014. That one thing we went to the Super Bowl and we won 23-15. Yeah.
Divisional round.
How many passing yards did the Seahawks have in that game, Mark?
In that game. I'll go 286.
286. Will.
That was kind of a rough game, if I recall correctly. I'm going to say 237.
286, 237. Matt.
I'll go 250.
250. Little Mo, we got 286, 250, and 237.
Well, if I did my math right, it's 263.
263 if you did your math right. Dustin, here's what we got. We got 237, 250, 263, and 286.
I remember it was cold and it was rainy and it was miserable to watch from the stand. And so
That was just your honeymoon.
Yes. But I watched that from the stand. Yes. But because of that, I'll say 200 even.
200 even. All right. Well, the amount of yards the Seahawks passed for in that game, 265. Little Mo said 263. He was only 2 off on this one.
Amazing.
How in the world? I'm taking you to Reno, my man. We are going to Reno.
I did my math. Dustin learned.
He did the math.
Dustin learned.
Nah,
Math
I'm
pays
pretty
off,
sure
man.
he did. I'm pretty sure he did show prep because he was already smirking before you. Because he was smirking before you even said the answer. He was just waiting to laugh.
Because
he knew he was closest. He knew he was closest. Go back when you edit and watch.
I will.
Because I had a feeling if I was right, I would break loose.
Oh, you had a feeling because you knew.
like Andy Garcia.
I promised that was a guess.
You promised that was a guess. You promised.
Every single time. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Little Mo, congratulations. Another win.
Oh,
We
no.
may never play trivia again. I don't know.
I didn't want to win.
I should have just 4,000.
Yeah, I should have just said 500.
That is not the attitude, sir. That is not the attitude.
Another heart-stopping, stomach-churning, questionable win by Little Mo of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
of the world.
Of the world. Those are the Bronco questions from a couple weeks from week 1.
Yeah, he's been on the show like 5 times and 1 more times than Mark already.
Wow. But true.
Wow.
I've already been lapped.
Accurate and shake.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
There's a new trivia rivalry, and I'm totally here for it.
Not much of a rivalry when one doesn't win. So.
Oh!
That's
Wow.
that's fair. That's fair.
That, folks, that's how we start the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam right there. With the rivalry beginning between Dustin and Little Mo. Dustin is calling Little Mo the Bill Belichick of the trivia, of the halftime trivia.
I'm pretty sure he regrets it, but I'm pretty sure he has cameras wherever Dennis is at to see what the questions are. There's a lot of info he doesn't want, but he gets what he's looking
There's a lot of file deletion going on.
And I will say, as Little Mo's father, as proud as I am, when he gives me the number, and I know the answer, mind you, and I see that he's 2 off after hitting the button last week, I'm like, oh no. I know it's coming.
I did like the fact that last week you tried to talk him out of.
I did. I'm like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
All right. Anyway, congratulations,
kind of
Little
raises
Mo.
the red flag, doesn't it?
Anyway, Little Mo, congratulations on a wonderful win, a fair win, and a win I had nothing to help with on that. So we will move on.
Dennis and I am going to continue to fight for equal trivia rights. It's the last thing I do. I can never win this game.
You're going to start kneeling during the intro?
Oh my God.
I already got glasses so cheap I can hardly see out of it.
There will never be another trivia show. That's the last halftime trivia. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's move on to this game between the Seahawks and the Saints, shall we please?
Let's do it.
1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. out in the Pacific. And Matt, what time? 6
p.m.
6 p.m. Matt gets to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I think I heard what the Seahawks are 14 out of 15 on 1 o'clock games or something like that. Ridiculous.
They're doing
Last week.
well.
They're doing very well. So we used to dread these 1 o'clock games, and I still
Remember
dread
the
them.
Era when we couldn't win one to
We
save
couldn't
our
win
lives.
a home to save our lives. Home we could never win one. But going out and seeing the Saints at 1 o'clock, I actually go, wow, that's great, because we might actually win this one. But anyway, before we do all that, we have to look at the injuries, and that's where we turn to our resident Dr. Dustin with the injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
All right, so we're going to start with the New Orleans Saints this week. I feel like Ace Ventura, when he's talking about Ray Finkel, you got to do that because you're going to need a lot of breath to talk about this one. All right, first of all, they have 4 people out. You have cornerback PJ Williams. He had a quadricep injury, not that we care. Wide receiver Michael Thomas, his foot hurts, so he's not playing.
Always.
But that's a good thing for us. We have defensive end Peyton Turner not playing. He's got a chest injury. Maybe he got implants. I'm not sure. I haven't.
Maybe someone broke his heart. Go ahead.
Somebody may have broke his heart. That's possible. And then offensive tackle Calvin Throckmorton has an ankle injury, and he's not playing. Yeah. Now, so that name is something we're going to come back to. I'll explain what that is from a medical standpoint, which I think I've told you guys before, but we're going to bring it up again anyway.
Weird one.
Yeah. So they have one player who's doubtful, but he's probably not going to play. It sounds like in all reality, and that is Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Eating too many W's. Yeah, if you're looking for interceptions, you might not get in this game. We'll see what happens. But his back and his ankle hurts, which means it's a concussion in today's NFL.
Yes.
Questionable. They have 4 more players. They're like the Walking Dead over there.
They're beaten up, yeah.
Yeah, you have safety Marcus May. Says he had a rib injury. Guard Andrus Pete, that's offensive guard. Running back Alvin Kamara. He's given us issues in the past. See what happens with him. I do believe he is expected to play, but he's still still got issues. And then wide receiver Jarvis Landry is also injured and questionable. So
that's a lot of big names there.
A ton. Yeah. Now going to the Seahawks, we have one guy that's out, wide receiver Derek Young, quadricep injury. We'll see how that goes. Couple of questionable guys, 3 of them to be exact. Marcus Goodwin has a knee and a back injury. I'm not too concerned about that. He is not showing well at all this year so far.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that's too much of a big deal.
No.
Quarterback Justin Coleman has the calf injury that's kept him out for 4 games now, 3 games now, something like that. Yeah. So he's still dealing with that. And then running back Kenneth Walker III has a shoulder injury, but from what I was reading, I believe he is probably going to play. I think. Good. So going back to Calvin Throckmorton.
Yes.
Now, if you're a longtime watcher of the show, like from last year, we may have talked about it, or probably last time we played the Saints. But so the Throckmorton injury is a sign on X-rays. I'm sure a lot of you know, some of you don't. I'm an X-ray tech. This is what I do. A Throckmorton sign is what happens when you have an injured hip and a guy's penis points towards the injured hip. When you see that on an X-ray, that's called a Throckmorton sign.
What a dick.
And it's hilarious that actually at work, this guy played for Oregon.
All right.
Back over here, he was an Oregon Duck. And one of my buddies at work is a huge Oregon Ducks fan. He's an X-ray tech as well. We have Jersey Fridays at work. And so every Friday he wears a Throckmorton jersey to work. Pretty awesome.
All right.
Back to you, Dennis.
Any questions?
Would anybody like to know more about the penis hip thing?
No.
No.
Don't want to know that.
All right.
I don't want to know how you get that. I don't want to hear about it.
Wow.
I don't.
Let's just not.
Jacob's like, I have questions. Our school district is not very
questions. Yes. I have several. No, I don't have any. Starting with how in the hell did that happen? No. Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't. That snowmobile accident, I don't know.
You know, when you make a discovery, you get to name that thing.
That's the best part.
Yeah, imagine that's your last name and that's what you figure out. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're calling that a Throckmorton sign.
And then like
I bet that dude was awesome to hang out with. I bet he was hilarious as shit.
And then like you're a Throckmorton and you meet somebody who happens to be an X-ray tech like yourself. And they say, oh, yeah, you know, you're on a first date. Well, what's your last name? Throckmorton. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So okay. Well, gee, Dustin, thank you for that way too informative report.
I mean, you guys, we all learned something. We
did. It's just like last year. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like South Park. Hey guys, I learned something today.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to turn to fashion and weather, and we do that by turning to a guy who lives in England. And however you get there, you can go the long way, or Dustin, or you go the short way like I do, and go across the Atlantic. It's time for
Scotland before you.
Matty from Merry Old England and his fashion and weather report. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Moses. It's another dome game, folks, which means, once again, the weather section of this podcast is as much use as the Miami Dolphins concussion protocol exam.
Oh!
But, fortunately, Earl, you remember Earl?
I remember.
Well, Earl and I were able to test our new pink smoke wind detection system during the Rams and 49ers game. And I don't think anyone noticed. But those results will once again help us with future weather report accuracy when we actually next play outside. So I'd like to thanks to that bloke who we paid $20 to test that for us. So thanks to him. Now, I've had the good fortune though. So obviously the weather doesn't matter, as I've said. But as I've had the good fortune to watch the Hawks play in the Superdome, I can already tell you that the atmosphere, while strictly climate controlled, will be electric, full of Cajun charm and hospitality. Unless you have an American accent and you're not a home supporter, in which case you could find yourself at a spot of bother. But because I was British, they were like, "Oh my God, where are you from?" And we had a good chat, and it was lovely. Now,
Stewie, we love you.
I know, it's amazing. So what to wear to this game? Well, if you're in New Orleans, I do thoroughly recommend it. Then you're going to need to look your best, especially in the old French Quarter heading down Bourbon Street. Now, I can't tell you the amount of beads people threw at me as I walked down the center of that street. Now, I was told that normally they're thrown at ladies in an effort to get them to flash their breasts. Although for me, apparently they were throwing them so I could wrap them around my shirt and prevent me from taking my top off.
It's hot down there and humid. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Being fat shamed in the USA, that's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Now, get used to it.
Now, you could, of course, celebrate the home of jazz by going either as Louis Armstrong or Fats Domino or Harry Connick Jr., as we know. All of those cultural icons of Louisiana. Or, of course, you could dress up as Lee Harvey Oswald, another New Orleans native, famous for being the lone gunman who took out a Democratic president at the height of his power and popularity.
Allegedly.
So no worries for President Biden on that front then. Or, if you want to work off some of those extra pounds that you will no doubt have put on from all that alcohol and endless jambalaya and steamed crayfish and alligator gumbo meals, you can always go dressed in full leotard and leg warmers as Richard Simmons, exercise guru to the stars. Complete with a ridiculous afro. Now, if I was going to this game, there really is only one outfit for me. I would go as the only band to have never been invited to perform in New Orleans. Well, not since 2005 anyway. Yes, that's right. I would go as Katrina from popular British American pop group Katrina and the Waves.
Oh, Katrina and the Waves, yes.
Yep. Never been invited back to New Orleans after 2005. No idea why.
No idea why. Walking on sunshine.
Yeah, well, they're walking on something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the follow-up was walking on water, but no. Whatever you, only in the Northern District, wherever you go dressed in, remember to throw a Hawks jersey over all that, and you should be fine. With all that being said, it looks like perfect Seahawks weather. So Moses, it's back over to you.
Oh, fantastic, Matt from Mary Old England. Thank you so much. Katrina and the Waves, well done. Now, the irony of that song, that group now, Katrina and the Waves, I didn't even. Now I'm going to look at that and go, oh
shit,
gosh.
yeah,
that was show prep.
That was show prep. That was nice.
Allegedly.
You must have watched like a Doc Holliday rerun on like AMC and be like, oh yeah, this song. That was like the song from Doc Holliday with Michael J. Fox. That's the only reason I even know that song.
Great.
You may proceed. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna proceed.
Random Michael J. Fox movie moment is over.
And guys, you guys don't know this, but we actually have a guy that knows a little bit about the numbers when it comes to placing bets for entertainment purposes only, and that's our own Brick. It's time for Brick's Picks with Statsman Mark. Statsman Mark, your record going into last week was 3-7. How did you do last week?
Oh, I thought you had that answer, Dennis.
You're 2-1.
I think I was 2-1 last
2-1, which makes you 5-8 going into this week. What you got for us, sir?
Numbers.
Well, first off, have we played Andy Dalton before? Have we ever?
Yeah, I think when he backed up the Cowboys, right?
Red Rocket.
Oh, that's right.
No, the Bengals. We've played the
Bengals.
We played with the Bengals too, but I thought he backed. Maybe not. Okay.
That felt healthy when we played them.
It's been a long. I forgot that he was on their team.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, game wise,
the Bears
here. I looked at a few, and boy, I'm taking some. There's some interesting games. The first one is the underdog, and I always have to look at home dogs, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, Cleveland, would fit this description.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have them. I'm going to have them. Let's see. These glasses are so dark. What is that? That's a plus 2.
Well, you are inside.
Drops all the way to 2 points. I'm taking Cleveland to beat San Diego.
Okay. Ooh, you mean
San Diego
Chargers? I guess we'll call them. I gotta go San Diego.
Last week it was the Oakland Raiders. This week's the San Diego Chargers. Next week it'll be like the
Baltimore
St. Louis Rams.
Colts. The Baltimore Colts. Sorry, that's Mark.
Don't worry. I got Oakland involved again.
Taking the Brooklyn Dodgers in the playoffs.
But this time they're on the wrong end. I have the Chiefs covering a monster line of 7 over our beloved Raiders.
Which
they play?
Which are in LA.
And that is in, let's see, is it KC? They're hosting that, aren't they? That's in Arrowhead, I think, right?
Sure they are. Yes.
Absolutely.
And then
all
finally,
day, every day.
For the over-under, I'm again with I'm looking at different parts of the game here. And for is Wilson starting for the Jets? I think he'll have more fatigue for various reasons, and the game's going to go under between the Jets and Miami. So
he'll be scoring too much off the field.
Under 46.5.
The game will be under, and somebody will be under him, but we won't go that right now.
Well, oddly enough, that 46.5 is the over/under for the age that he likes to date too, Dennis. So he's working nicely with the point total.
What are you guys referencing exactly?
It's something that he allegedly did, but we won't.
I hear Giselle's available.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right. Yep. So just to recap, we have Cleveland +2. We have Kansas City -7, and we have the under in the Jets Miami game. That's your picks this week.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Statsman Mark.
And if Zach Wilson were on our trivia show, his song would be "You're My Best Friend" by Queen. See to the moms, right?
Nice. All right, well done.
Until we get copyrighted and can't play the video.
And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. Oh, Reverend.
Yes! It is I, the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. How is everyone this evening?
Doing great. Mariners won.
Everyone's doing well. That game last week was like buckling in a car at the Indy 500, wasn't it? Round and round at full speed. They just didn't stop. It was like watching a tennis match, the way those two offenses went up and down the field. It was crazy. I bet poor Michael Dixon almost nodded off the dreamland a couple of times on the sidelines, that poor bastard, but we'll move on. Sadly, we were watching the game here at church, as we always do, and poor Cleolanda, she can't resist a bet. And so the local fireman, Steve Bronson, was there. You know Steve, very muscular guy, big guy. And
I know Steve.
She bet she could do the push-ups every time the Seahawks scored, like those cheerleaders do in college football. So they do 7, then they do 10, then they do 17. She's still going over here in the corner. I don't know if you. I mean, that's 36, honey. Keep going. That's 36. You're almost there. Keep going. Oh, there's a picture of margaritas for you over here on the table when you're done, baby. Do you just keep going? Anyway, friends, I'm glad we're here once again as we celebrate a hard-fought and exciting victory and look towards the promised land, basking in the warm glow that is Seahawk Positivity. Once again, we open the book of Seahawk Positivity, chapter 5, verses 7 to 12. As we traveled down to the south, we were met by those from the bayou. They came marching in, but they were no match for those within Seahawk Positivity, so they were sent back to their swamp, sad and defeated. And those from Nolans did then face defeat and were broken. Friends, this is the word of Seahawk Positivity. If you believe in the word of Seahawk Positivity, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
I'm in.
Yes. Yes, I can feel it. If you believe the power to give our defense the ability to make the Saints offense beg for mercy, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
I'm in.
Amen. Yes, if you believe in the power of our offense to score more than Harry Connick Jr. at Mardi Gras, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
I'm in.
Yes, that's the power, my brother. We are loud and proud. The only marching these Saints are going to do Sunday is march home defeated. Who dat? Who dat? That ain't no English teacher. We know who that is. This has been your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. Go out forth, my brethren. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Large and praise Cortez. Praise Walter Jones. Praise Kenny Eastley. As always, go Hawks. We'll be back in the fourth quarter with our predictions our prognostications, and our game balls for a game against the New Orleans Saints. Y'all come back, you hear?
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches.
Yes, welcome back, folks, to the fourth quarter of your 12th Man Fan Jam Show, the 10-12 edition, where we play the Saints, where we're talking about all things Seahawks football, allegedly. Now, where's Moses? He's late again to a quarter.
Moses.
Oh! We got that there Cajun man back. We're going to talk about some football right now. Usually, now we're going to do some football right now. Some competition.
Don't look at me, little Mo. He's your dad.
This show's been filled with a lot of allegation. A lot of you are filled with frustration because Jameis Winston is not playing as Andy Dalton. Aye. All right. On to the game. That is left the building.
He's wrong.
It's wrong on so many levels. Seattle is 5.5 point underdogs in this game. The over-under is 45.5. Aye, you don't like my hat, young man. I tell you what, you're going to be out of a mess of yourself if you don't like my hat. Fine.
Yep.
Ooh.
Fine.
Ooh.
There, you happy? All right. All right. Let's look through the picks on our posse prediction challenge. So,
Now we just got grunge era Moses.
And now it's like now it's grunge Moses.
Some sort of midlife crisis going on there.
Jose said, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't trust this tampon defense. So I'm saying 34-31 Saints.
Damn.
Please send all of your that's to Jose Rodriguez, care 12-Man Fan Jam Show at gmail.com. 34-31 Saints, prognostication. Lockett scores his first touchdown. All right. Mike Pascal. Hawks are on a cinnamon roll as they march into Saints. Mixed metaphors with pastries and song titles. And
now
no
I'm
Drew
confused.
Either. What? What happened?
Songs and pastries. Like as soon as you said that, I was thinking about Cinnabon. So...
Seattle 27, A's 24.
That was a good deadpan. Appreciate that.
TK prediction. Hawks win with a field goal. Oh my God. Mark Ty Turner.
My cat giving me right now. It's just like, really?
Mark Ty Turner. I kind of feel guilty about my lack of faith. I didn't realize the Lions D is historically bad, but now our Hawks go to city. I've spent many a night in this year, the Big Easy, which to tell you the truth, there's nothing easy about traveling around in the city. Unlike nearly every city in the U.S., New Orleans wasn't built on a grid. One sense of direction is completely lost. Well, the Hawks will be lost. Will they be lost on Sunday? I don't know what to think. I tell you, in Seattle, if the Mariners are playing the Blue Jays in Game 3 of the wild card, which starts an hour after the Hawks Saints kickoff, actually it started before that. Oh, an hour after, you're right. The Mariners win one of those rare TV victories over the Hawks. Fun fact, the Mariners and Seahawks have never been to playoffs in the same season. Never. And approaching 50 years. Saints win 28-24. Game ball to Dixon, who boots the longest punt in Seahawks history. Lockett scores the TD in the air and on the ground. It's his game ball. That's right. A jet sweep with him, not Fant. No one has ever seen that. All right.
I always find it interesting that people who pick the opposing team to win then also put a game ball in.
Well, you have to put a game ball. It has to be one of us.
It's called hedging your bets.
Yeah.
I just think, where's your optimism, folks? Where's your positivity?
Yeah, right. Carey, 24-17 Seattle. Seahawks defense gets 2 interceptions. Wolin is my game ball. Jimmy says, okay, I love how the offense is looking, especially during the running game. I got the Hawks win a close one, 2017. Prognostication, 3 sacks or more for the defense. Game ball to Penny. The kids locked in. Go Hawks. And just because, go Mariners. Go Mariners. Becky, 34-28 Seahawks. Penny game ball. Penny touchdown. Little Mo. Little Mo done sprang from my loins. He did, y'all.
Gross.
Anyways, 31-17 is gonna be my score.
All right.
And then go ahead. Yep.
2-2.
You saying who wins?
Oh yeah, Seahawks. My bad.
Well, we knew that.
And then I think Kerry said Tweak Woolen, game ball, and 2 interceptions, but that's what I was gonna say, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Nice.
Woolen, 2 INTs?
No. Woolen, game ball, and 2 interceptions as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Woolen, game ball, and 2 INTs for this team.
Yeah.
I see, for the Seahawks. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense, I think. All right, as we look at team posse,
losing team,
and we start with Chris. After winning a shootout in the Motor City last week, the Hawks head south to NOLA and hopefully get a party in the Big Easy after a woeful performance by the defense. I think PC will have given them the Fergie treatment when they go home. For efforts, please search David Beckham as a hairdryer versus a hairdryer. And they will buck their ideas up. I can see the Hawks coming away with 2 takeaways. My prognostication, watch as my game ball, Ken Walker, shows he's as strong a runner as Penny. And watch the Seahawks win by a score of Hawks 31, Saints 24. This is the way. Andy, Seattle 24, Taints 17, game ball to Penny, prognostication. Saints lose, but still get over 350 yards of offense. Stats, man, Mark. What you got?
Right, guys. I originally had this going a different way, but we'll see. I have this.
Seattle... if you know what, if you were talking to Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac, he would say you can go your own way.
You can go your own way. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or what's the who was the other guy? What was the other song we did?
Or Ray
Never
Cosby,
Going Back
life
Again.
is the highway. I mean, or yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Usher's my way. Yeah.
I have this game.
This podcast is free falling.
I have this game. Seahawks 26, the Saints 23.
All right.
I have Penny with over 100 yards rushing, and I have a game ball for Myers who will kick. I could have made that the Boroski. I have Myers winning, essentially breaking a tie and giving us a win.
Myers gets a game ball. All
But
right.
I'll go. Then he'll be my game. Myers.
Oh, Myers your game ball? Yeah, right. And Penny's 100 yards rushing, right?
Penny's 100 yards.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
rushing.
Will.
I see Seattle winning this game 22-20.
All right.
My prognostication is we will score another defensive touchdown this week. But I'm not sure who's going to score it. So for my game ball, I'm going to go offense, and I'm going to say Colby Parkinson.
Going with the cheese, the Colby cheese. Dustin.
Yeah.
How are you?
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to say fuck all you guys for not laughing. I laugh at all your jokes, Dennis.
Wow.
All right, then. New show next week. We'll see you later.
Wow.
Yeah.
The butt hurt is strong with this one.
Yes. The
He's still
bitterness
mad.
creeps
He's
in
still
from
mad
within.
because he lost. That's why.
I know where you live, sir. You remember that.
Yeah, you do.
Go across the country. Come get me.
I have a Dustin doll right here.
I can pay people.
Cash me.
Anyways.
Hey, Dustin.
Wow.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
Would you like to give us a score prognostication of the game ball?
Not anymore, but I will. But I will.
Love you, man.
Yeah, love you guys too. All you guys.
All right.
All you guys.
I know.
So
And you can't see with the low price of $19.95.
3 easy installments. Right. All right. So I'm gonna say the Seahawks are gonna win 24-17.
All right.
That's my score. I'm gonna use my Geno card this week.
Okay.
Yeah,
Playing the Geno card.
Yeah, mostly because I picked him up in fantasy football because
All
I
right.
had trash work with this week, so I need him to perform well.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Geno he's involved with 3 touchdowns, be it passing or run. And
All right.
and he's got the game ball.
All right. That's pretty good.
I'm trying to speak it into existence.
I don't blame
You
you.
could end up just jinxing yourself, though, Dustin.
That's true.
I don't
You haven't learned
believe
anything
in
from
that.
Stats Man Mark. You got to fade yourself. Matt,
I'm still not sure what that means, if I'm being honest.
we'll draw you a map later. Matt,
All right.
hello.
Hello.
What you got?
Well, I mean, it's just difficult because I've got no points, and I don't really know the best way to get points.
Just
'cause
say
whatever-
what somebody else
Predicting.
says. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, mind that they won't get any points that week, and I still won't get any points. Look, okay, so I'm going to go with Seahawks 24, Saints 21.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna. Do you know what, Dustin? I think now is the time to play the card.
Yep.
Oh, the
Yep.
Gino
Because
card. Okay.
I'm going to play the Geno card as well. Geno Smith. Let's put him down for the game
All
ball,
right.
and I'm going to have the prognostication because I know it's going to be allowed because it was allowed last week, and if it's not allowed, I should be flying a big old red fucking flag all over this. No interceptions for Geno.
All right. I can go with that. I can live with that.
I mean, that could almost be a pride flag too,
You
Matt.
were all like excited and you were all excited and I'm
Because we're proud of him.
Write it down,
We're
bitch.
proud of him.
Write it down, bitch.
I wrote down,
That's the
bitch.
results.
Now it's my turn, bitch. Last week we learned that the offense made the road trip, but the defense did not travel to Detroit. But can you blame them? Who wants to go to Detroit? So this time we need the whole team to travel to Cajun Town to play the New Orleans, or more appropriately, the Nolans Saints. The offense is sadly once again for New Orleans led by Raggedy Andy Dalton, who looks now with his beard like groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons had an illegitimate son. But we'll move on. He used to be nicknamed the Red Rifle, and like the official Red Ryder combine action 200-shot range model air rifle with the compass and the stock and this thing that tells time on it from Christmas Story.
Golly.
People, fans on teams that Andy Dalton's on, often discover, just like they did in the Christmas Story, that if you take it for granted and try to use it, it won't shoot your eye out, but he will shoot your team's playoff hopes in the foot. But I move on. Defensively, the Saints are led by Cameron Jordan, who is maybe the better kept secret than Tom Brady's marital status right now. Cameron has double digits sacks in 6 of his last 9 NFL seasons. In fact, over the last 5, he's averaged 12 sacks a season. Talk about a lot of sacks. Well, Maddie, you might
That's
talk
more
about a lot
than
of
Matt.
sacks.
Yeah,
Maddie might talk about a lot of sacks, allegedly, but we'll move on. New Orleans head coach Dennis Allen, who was the Saints defensive coordinator for many years, because when you think of the Saints, you think of defense, right? I mean, it's like hiring the prosecutor from the OJ trial. I mean, yeah, they're well known, but is that the side you really want to draw someone from? I'm not sure. But the Saints not only have their own theme song, but they actually are named after that theme song when the Saints come marching in. So if I may, oh, when the Saints, they lose again. Oh, when the Saints, they'll lose again. And you know, this Sunday it will happen, and the Saints will lose again. Thank you very much. They call New Orleans the Big Easy, but that is what is about to be for the Seahawks, a big and easy win. Watch the Seahawks get 2 interceptions. Watch my game ball DK Metcalf catch more balls than a hooker on Bourbon Street. Aye! That's some good Seahawk cooking going on right there in that game there you're going to see. As the Seahawks win that there game by score of Seahawks 34, New Orleans Saints 24. Suck on that gumbo, y'all. Book it.
It is so booked.
It is so booked. Well,
So let it be booked. So
it's
let it be
time on
done.
this show for me to gather up my stuff and call it a night to remember as we close the Saints show with Cajun Man and lots of frustration and allegation and celebrations. But now it's time for salutations. So, on behalf of Statsman Mark, on behalf of Shadowhawk Will, Little Mo, Dustin, Matt from Merry Old England, April, Abby, Kona, and everyone who participates in the show in whatever way you do. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk Positivity saying, until next time, as always, go Hawks!
Go
Hawks.
Hawks. Allegedly.
Allegation.
Fun fact, Big Easy, also my new prison name.
No!
Oh, ooh, ooh.
Nice.